All right. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome in. Welcome in. We've got Aura et Labora set up here tonight. From Uwe Rosenberg. Let me see. Find the box cover here. It looks like that. This is basically like 3 games of Le Havre piled on top of each other. You get resources. You turn the resources into other resources. Eventually, somewhere in there, there's points. There are many types of resources. Thematically, we're playing monks, I guess. This is our little cloister. In the solo game, we've got our own cloister, and then the dummy player has a cloister here. They don't take any actions or anything, but basically, anything you don't build here in a certain amount of time just comes over here to give you kind of a time pressure element. So, anybody out there played this before, or Le Havre, similar games, anything? So this is definitely the heaviest game that I've attempted on stream here, so we'll see how much it destroys my brain. We're just gonna do what we can do. The flow of the game here is each round this thing is gonna move. This controls how much of all of these resources you can get. And once it gets around to this D deck here, the second time around, once it hits D, I believe that triggers the end of the game. Actually, it might be E. Yeah, E triggers the end of the game. I think it's like 24 rounds, something like that. Each round we get 2 actions, and then this thing moves. The actions that we can take are place a clergyman in a building. We've got 3 clergymen. We can take it and place it in one of these buildings that we have built to do whatever it says on there. A lot of them are going to let you change goods into other goods. So, for example, we start with a clay mound, which lets us... actually, these 3 lets you just take goods from the wheel here. This one lets you take clay, this one lets you take either sheep or wheat, and this one lets you take money. The amount of those things that you get is based on where this wheel is. So, if it was like that, right, the 6 is pointing towards all these things. So if I took sheep, for example, I would get 6 sheep, I would put them here on my little player board thing, and the sheep would go back down to 0. So the next, if I wanted to take sheep twice in a row, the next time I would get 0 sheep, right? So, and there's the goods on here are clay, wood, wheat, peat, sheep, and no, hold on. That's the Joker piece, right? Okay, so wood, wheat, peat, money, clay, and sheep. That's it. The Joker piece can be any type of good. So, I could, for example, take sheep, and then take sheep again, but use the Joker piece, and put that down there. Get 12 sheep altogether. So, Poly People, welcome in. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Hope you enjoy your time in the dice tray with my cat Nugget. He likes sitting in there. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it as well. You're just in time to watch me fail spectacularly at the solo game of Aura et Labora. I've only played this once. The goal of the solo game is to get 500 points. I believe I got 485, which is close, but also it took me quite a while, and I wasn't on stream at the time. So, we'll see how this one goes. So, the first action you can do is take a worker, put it in a building, do the thing it says in the building, right? The next action you can do is fell trees or cut peat. So we start with 3 forests and 2 peat bogs, And we can just discard one of these cards to get wood equal to wherever the wood is on the wheel, or peat equal to wherever the peat is on the wheel. Yeah, this one, there's a lot going on in this one. It's really fun, though, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. You only start with these amount of forests and peat bogs. As you build more board expansions, you can get more, but basically once these are gone, you can't do that anymore until you find some more forests and or peat bogs. Technically, I think you can still take the action. You just don't get anything for it. Maybe that would make sense to do sometimes. It didn't seem like it to me. The third action you can do is build one of these buildings up here. They all have a cost in the top left. This one, for example, costs 1 wood. They also show what type of land they can be built on. So this is the plains. There's also the coast once we build some of these expansion tiles, or water, like this houseboat can only be built on water. And there's also hillsides. The other side of that is also hillsides. So some things can only be built on certain types of land. And once you build this thing, they're either going to give you an instant benefit here, like this gives you 1 wood, 1 coin, 1 hops, or barley, I forget what it is, and 1 peat. Or they're going to open up new ways to convert things into other things. Like this one, for example, when you put a guy here, you can trade in 1 barley and 1 wheat to make 1 beer. And then you can sell 1 beer for $7. This action here, when you activate this building, you can do that as many times as you want / can't afford. This one here specifically you can do once. It's got the little 1x on it. Also, when you build a building, excuse me, if your prior is available, which is this guy with the fancy hat, when you build a building, you can immediately put your prior in there to do whatever it says on there. If your prior is not currently available when you build a building, then you have to use another action to put a guy in there to do the thing that it says on the building, right? Also, at the beginning of the round, if you have placed all 3 of your clergymen, then they come back. That is the only time they come back. You have to use all 3 of them before they come back. Let me see. That is the gist of what we're doing here. There's also the dummy player board over here. We can pay money to send his workers into his buildings. Currently, he's got the same 3 starter buildings that we start with, and also this builder's market, which is currently one of the only 2 ways to get the stone resource. The other one is the stone merchant, where you pay food and energy to get stone. This one, you pay $2 and you get all this stuff. One of which is 1 stone. So currently the cost to, that's called executing a work contract. Currently the cost to do that is $1. At some point in the game, it will flip over and become $2. So, blah, 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 buy a landscape tile. There are also a couple of free actions. You can buy these landscape tiles, so it doesn't count as an action. You can just do that. The first one of these big ones costs $8. The first one of these smaller ones costs $7. And they get cheaper as they go. In the regular game, they start cheap and get more expensive. In the solo game, they start expensive and get cheaper. Trade coins and or trade wine or whiskey, 4 coins. All right. There's also a couple of other free actions that we will talk about as they come up. And that's basically it until we get to the settlement phase. We will talk briefly about how scoring works in this game. So, these are all the types of resources, right? There are a ton of them, represented by this entire Plano box full of double-sided chits. So, for example, this is clay, the other side is pottery. Philbo, what is that question in reference to? Once per turn or once ever what? So, some of these resources are worth points. Basically, these over here, and also coins and whiskey are worth points. So at the end of the game, ornaments, reliquaries, books, and ceramics, any of these we have are worth points. Anything you build is worth points. So this houseboat, for example, the number in the shield there is worth 4 points. It also has this little house symbol, which brings us to the settlement phase. We have these 4 settlements. And during the settlement phase, which happens every time you hit one of these stacks of cards and then once at the end of the game, you can build one of these settlements. And the way that settlements score are, they score the number in their own shield, and then they score the settlement score for every orthogonally adjacent thing that they're built next to. So if this was built here, this houseboat would score its 6 settlement points because of this. If we had another one next to it, they would both score the 6 settlement points for that one. So setting up your board here to take advantage of that is a large part of the game. On one of the cards, you could do something as many times as you could afford, but another thing you could only do once. Okay, so you're talking about this, where'd it go? Brewery card. So when you activate this card, this top action here is unlimited. You can do it as many times as you can afford to do and want to do. It's trade these 2 goods to get that good. And then, /or, you can do this bottom action, but it's got a ×1 arrow on it, so you can only do that once. So that one is limited. This one is not. This fuel merchant here, you can trade 3, 6, or 9 fuel for 5, 8, or 10 coins, but it's got a 1 time, so you can only do that once. So if I had 18 fuel, I could not trade it for 20 coins when I activate this by putting a guy on it. Which is how you activate any of these things. Does that make sense? And with that, I think we're just going to get into it. And so I've got 2 actions, right? The first thing we do is, sorry, hold on. Somewhere in here. Course of the round. Step 1, rotate the production wheel. Boink. Step 2, take 2 actions. That's it. There would be, in between those 2 things, a settlement phase, but the first one doesn't happen until this wheel hits this blue house. So we get 2 actions. Again, we can take resources. No, we can activate buildings, we can build buildings, or we can fell trees or cut peat. So the main question, also each of these stacks of cards is more stuff to go up here. More buildings are going to come out as the game goes. So I guess the first question is, what do we want to do here? I would kind of like to build this cloister courtyard. It lets you trade 3 different goods for 6 identical goods. Because if we do that, so like we can build that, right? And then we can get a ton of wheat. And then this will let us trade wheat for barley and, or grain for barley and wheat. And I forget what exactly they're called. Could probably look at this thing. Yeah. This will let us trade grain for straw and malt. That's what it is. And then we can trade those things in for beer here, assuming we build all those things. So that seems like a decent plan to shoot for. Let's see what we need to do to make that happen. So we're going to need stone eventually, right? Because it costs 2 stone and 1 straw to build this brewery. So what's a good first action here? We would also probably like to get if we get one of these things before this first settlement phase, we can build this houseboat on it, which is worth a bunch of points. That's another thing we could do, potentially. Alright, so I think the first thing we might want to shoot for is to get some money to do this thing and get us some stone. Or, alternately, build the stone merchant, who will also get us stone. Assuming we have the things we need to trade to the stone merchant. So many things you can do here. So currently, all the goods are worth 2. So like if we cut wood right now, we would get 2 wood. Which would let us build this stone merchant. And potentially something else. What else would it let us build? It would let us build the spinning mill. And the spinning mill will let us get a bunch of money, assuming we have sheep. Or livestock, I guess maybe they're called. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of talking around in circles on this one. There's just a lot of moving pieces in this particular game. So I think maybe we start by getting some wood. So let's look at this stone merchant, right? We need energy and we need food if we're going to activate this stone merchant. So what can we get that gives us food right now? We can get livestock are worth 2 food each. That's probably the only thing we can currently get that's worth food. Well, grain is worth 1 food also. 1 food for grain. Yeah, there's the amount of stuff that you will have by the end of this game is absolutely wild. So, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? I mean, we could just cut 2 hold on. Peat coal. So peat is worth 2 fuel. So if we cut peat here and got livestock, that would give us enough. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. All right, so we're going to cut peat first off, which gets us 2 peat and moves that down there. Whether that is correct, I mean, who could know these things? It's what we're doing. It is what we're doing. So we've got 4 fuel now. It's probably all we'll ever need. And I think maybe we also go here and get 2 livestock. Although, get 2 wood. 1 wood there, 1 wood there. I don't know if it's better to cut peat this round or get wood this round and cut peat next round, because we've got 3 wood producing cards and only 2 peat producing tiles. And we're not actually doing either of them right now, so. So hold on. So I could get money. Yeah, maybe that's the thing to do. All right, new plan. We're gonna get $2 because we're not gonna use those things right now anyway. And if we do those things next turn, we'll just get more of the things. So more things is better. So we used our guy here and got $2. There's one thing I've learned. It's that more things is better than less things. So money is worth, you can use money as food also if you really need to. And then, oh, that doesn't work. My plan doesn't work because I'm $1 short. I was going to get money. Oop, hold on, this goes back here. I was going to get money and then pay one of these guys to come in here. But I need $1 to be able to pay that guy. So maybe we go back to the original plan, since my new incredible plan doesn't actually work. And if there's one thing I know, it's that plans that work are better than plans that don't work. So we are going to get 2 wood. Oh, that guy doesn't go there. And 2 livestock. And call it a day. 2 wood, 2 livestock. Woof. So first action, second action, the wheel turns. Onward to our second turn. And the second turn, I think, is going to be to get money, like we were going to do earlier. But now it gives us $3 instead of $2. And then we're going to pay $1 to put this guy in here, which lets us pay $2 to get 2 wood, 2 clay, 1 stone, and 1 grain. Two clay, 2 wood. Okay. So that's 2 actions. The wheel moves. All right, so now we've got some stuff, right? So we can build that stone merchant. So let's build that stone merchant, right? So the stone merchant is going to come here. Stone merchant's going to come. So like even now, I'm trying to plan out where I want to put my settlements eventually, because this game's bonkers like that. I'll put it there. Our prior is free, so we pay 1 wood. Our prior is free, so we can immediately put him in there. And trade in 4 food and 2 energy. Okay. Hold on. I forgot the other part of the plan, which was before we do that, for our first action, we're going to cut peat, which gets us 4 peat. There we go. Because we needed that clay, we needed that energy. So 4 peat. Right. Now our second action is we spend the 1 wood to build this stone merchant here. And put our guy into it. So we can, up to 5 times, we can trade 2 food and 1 energy to get a stone. So 2 food, 2 food, 2 energy. That's all we can afford, so that's what we're going to do. Gets us 2 stone. Seems like a totally fine amount of stone. So that's 2 actions. The wheel turns. And all 3 of our guys are in use, so they come back home. So we built the stone merchant. What else do we want to do? So we can build this brewery now. But we would like to be able to fully utilize that when we do that. So we probably want to get this malt house first. And when we get the malt house, we really want to have a bunch of grain to be able to, to be able to feed into it. So, like we can get 5 grain right there, right? So, seems fine. So we will get 5 grain for our first action. Grain. So we've got 6 grain. Then we're going to build this malt house for our second action. Put it right there. It costs us 2 clay. And we immediately are going to put our prior into it. And trade in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 6 grain turns into 6 straw. And 6 barley. 4, 5, 6. Or malt, rather. Okay, so it's not a bad way. So that was our second action. So we got grain, and then we built the malt house. Okay, so the wheel turns. We don't get our guys back. So we can build this... Where'd it go? Brewery, because we have the stone, and we have a straw. We would really like to be able to put our prior into it when we do that, though. So maybe we do that next round. And so we also really would like to get $8 to build a new landscape, because you can see we're already running out of space here. So maybe I think we're going to cut a forest first off for our first action. Get 5 wood. Whole stack of wood. And then for our second action, maybe we get $6 because we want to get our prior back. So yeah, we'll take $6. All right. And that was using the Joker there. The wheel turns. We get our workers back. And hold on. All right, so hold on. We're going to have taken 6 clay instead of $6. Having just now noticed that we actually need that Joker tile to be up there. Right, 6 clay. I'm sure we'll use that clay. Why not? Okay, so now, because what we need, I forgot that we need grain to make beer. So now we can get grain because the Joker is still here. So the Joker comes down here. We get 6 grain. Doo-doo-doo. 6 grain. For our first action, for our second action, we're going to build this brewery here. Actually. Yeah, that's fine. So I was thinking, like, this is worth 7 points with the, what's it called? If you build a settlement next to it. So we'd really like to be able to build 2 settlements next to that. But, like, we can expand down if we need to instead of up. That's a problem for future us. So we put our guy in here. We spend our 2 stone and 1 grain. Or straw, rather. 2 stone, 1 straw. And now we can trade grain and malt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So we trade 6 of each of those in for 6 beer, which are worth 5 food each. And also, we can immediately sell one of those beer for $7. Which we're going to do. $7 seems like a good amount of bucks. So that is both of our actions there. The wheel turns. And speaking of nothing having to do with anything, if y'all give me 1 second, run to the facilities and I'll be right back. Hopefully, y'all are enjoying this so far. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'll be right back. All right. We're back. We're back to making very good decisions and having extremely good long-term planning in Aura at Labora. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 10 more actions before this first settlement phase happens. At which point, Any of these that we haven't built yet, go away and get built over here. We also want to have set up somewhere to build one of these settlements, and also the food and energy to build whichever one we want. So, just a thing to think about for us. So what's everybody think? Over under on me getting 500 points. I'm betting we don't get 500 points. But you know, we're certainly going to do what we can anyway. All right, so we got 2 actions. We've got a pretty good amount of money. So maybe getting another tile here wouldn't be bad. We could also get sheep and then build this spinning mill where we can get money for having sheep, which doesn't seem bad. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. So to get sheep, first off, we need to... actually, that's not true. We could pay $1 to put one of these guys in here to get 6 sheep. Or, alternately, we could use our guy somewhere here. And then get sheep next round, when it'll be 7 sheep instead of 6 sheep. I mean, that's 1 more sheep. Peat coal kiln. I think the first thing we're gonna do is build this. No, I'd really like to get my prior back before we build a building. So many things in this game. What's the move to do? So I've got $7. Like, I could buy this right now and could build a false lighthouse and then a houseboat. And then build the fishing village right there, and that's a ton of points. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. That seems fine. Alright, so we're going to spend $7 first off. And buy this, put it right here. And then, we're going to, for our first action, we're going to spend 1 wood and build this houseboat right here. Oh wait, sorry. The houseboat goes right here. Or, hold on. Let me think about that actually. Yeah, okay. Sorry, the houseboat goes right here. It's got to go on water. Being a boat, naturally. Hopefully this is making enough sense for y'all to be able to follow along. I mean, there's a ton of moving pieces in this game. And then for our second action, I think we're going to take $6. Yep. Okay. So this rotates. We get our guys back. Then we're going to build this. Ooh, hold on. Why can I not remember what we're doing. Yeah, okay. House boat goes there. Then we're going to build this false lighthouse here for our first action. For 2 wood and 1 clay. We're going to put our guy into it, which gets us $3. Put our prior into it. Gets us $3 and 1 beer or whiskey, our choice. So whiskey is worth 2 food or 2 money or 1 victory point. So maybe we'll take a whiskey, question mark, or I don't know if it's better to get beer right now and worry about whiskey later. We're gonna take the whiskey and maybe later think about that if it becomes relevant. That gives us a really good spot to put a settlement right here. And another really good spot to put a settlement right here. So we kind of like how that's going. So our first action was to build the lighthouse, right? Yeah, first action was to build the lighthouse. Second action. What's the second action? I think the second action is to take... hold on. So if we build this peat coal kiln here, like we could get 6 peat right now, and that lets us turn all of our peat into peat coal, which goes from being worth 2 energy to 3 energy. So like turn 12 energy into 18 energy. I mean, that seems pretty good. I think we are going to expand down in this game also. Maybe. We'll figure that out later. All right. I'm getting lost in the weeds here. There's so much weird stuff in this game. So, do we take livestock for our second action? Because I'm looking at building this spinning mill, right? Well, either way, we're going to want to cut peat. So we're going to cut peat for our second action. Which is going to get us 6 peat. Six peat. We're stacking energy here. So that's both our actions. So the wheel rotates. And what are we doing now? I think at this point we just wait until the sheep hit 9 so we can build this spinning mill and get the maximum value out of it. When we do it, all right, we're going to pay 1 clay and build this peat coal kiln here. And we're going to put a guy into it. Excuse me. 2, immediately get $1 and 1 peat coal. And then flip all of our peat over into peat coal, which gets us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's plus 9 energy. Seems like a pretty good conversion rate. So that was both of our actions. So this comes here. And what's the next thing we do? I guess now we need to look at, you know, if we want to build, what more of this we want to build before the end of this, before this settlement phase happens. Because any of these that we don't build before then are going to go away. So I think the first thing we're going to do is spend $8. And buy one of these landscape tiles. There's a choice. You can either put it this way up or this way up. This way up has more plain ground, but less usable resource generating cards. So I think we're going to put it like that. Question mark, question mark. Yeah, I think we're going to put it like that. Which gets us a bog and 2 forests. And we've got 2 actions here. So we really would like to use this guy. So, I mean, I guess now's the time. We'll get 8 livestock. Because we wanted to do that anyway. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, we would have liked to do that one round later, so it was 9 instead of 8. But it's only $1 difference for the spinning mill. So that's our first action. Our second action is, I think we're going to pay $1 and put this guy here and get grain. Gets us 6 grain. Right, this comes here. Also, this should be here because we got sheep. We get our guys back, and this is the final round before the first settlement phase. So again, anything we don't build right now is going to come over here. So I think, like, we definitely want to build that spinning mill. So the first thing we're going to do is cut this. Right there. Sorry, I'm trying to plan out my future settlement placements. So this is in the Filbo. This is the solo, like, dummy board. The only thing it does is they have workers just like I do, and you can pay $1 currently to send one of their workers to one of their buildings. That price goes up eventually. Excuse me. Once this settlement phase happens, all the buildings here that I haven't built are going to get put onto this board. At which point, if their prior is available, I can immediately pay $1 and send him into one of those immediately just built buildings. But that's all it does in the solo game, is it basically is a place that these go if you don't build them, and a place where you can pay to activate their buildings. Right. So I want to build this spinning mill, like, first off, right? The question is, where do I want to build it so I can still score the things that I want to score with the settlement phase? I think we're going to build it right here, because we don't want to put a settlement next to this peat coal kiln because it's negative points. So we pay 1 wood and 1 straw. Put this guy in here. We've got 8 sheep, which gets us $5. If we get one more sheep, then it will get us $6. We've got one more action before the settlement phase happens. So do we want to build any of these other things? I kind of think we want to build a cloister courtyard. So we're going to build that right there. Cloister buildings have to be built adjacent to other cloister buildings. So I'm going to pay 2 wood and build that. And that is it. So this comes here. And we have our first settlement phase. So let me... settlement phase. Each player may build exactly 1 settlement. Blah, 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 blah. Each of the first 4 settlement phases brings new buildings into the game that are added to the old buildings. Each player also receives a new settlement that they can build at a later point in the game. Okay, so let me... Sorry. There's like 8,000 different rule books for this game for no reason. I want to make sure I get the order of these things correct. Okay, so first off, I build one of these for settlements. I'm going to choose the fishing village. Put it right here. It costs me 3 energy and 8 food. So one of these peat coals, one of these beers, that's 5 food. I need 3 more food. So 1 sheep. And 1 grain, I think. So 3 energy and 8 food. And currently, this fishing village has scored us 10, 15, 21 points, I think. I forget if you score its own settlement value at the end of the game. So let me see, because I'm curious about that. Let's also have dwelling settlements are therefore counted as well. Each settlement is worth points depending on the cards directly adjacent to it. Settlement points are calculated by adding the dwelling values of the settlement and all adjacent buildings. Okay, gotcha. So building that fishing village currently scored us 4, 10, 25 points. If we build something else here, it'll be more points. But I feel like that's a pretty good fishing village. Now, these 4 buildings get built over here. And their prior is available, so I can immediately place this guy and do a thing. So I could place it on this priory to use a building occupied by a prior, which would immediately get me $5 more. That feels all right. Or I could place it here. I'm actually going to place it here. So that gets me 1 barley. One barley. Malt. I keep calling it barley. And then I can immediately sell 9 energy and get $10. Seems all right. Money seems good. All right. Now, I get a new settlement, Artists Colony, which is worth -1 point, but it's cheap to build and is 5 settlement points. And then we get some new buildings here. So, we've got a cloister workshop, which lets you change stone into ornaments and clay into pottery, ceramics rather, which are worth points. The cloister chapter house, which just gives you basically one of everything. The slaughterhouse, which lets you turn livestock into meat, which is worth a ton of food. The sacred site gives you a book and then some other stuff, and is also worth a bundle of points. The druid's house lets you trade 1 book for 5 identical basic goods plus 3 other identical basic goods. Seems crazy. All right. So, now this moves up here, and that's when the next settlement phase happens. And basically, once this wheel gets all the way back around to here for the second time, that's the end of the game. So, like, around and then around there. All right. So I kind of would like to build that slaughterhouse, but I need to build it not next to a settlement, basically. So all right. I think step 1 is we're going to build this up here, which is annoying, but, you know, what are you going to do? For $6. Because that'll let us build this slaughterhouse up here without having to worry about it being next to anything else that's is going to score. Also lets us build this sacred site here. So let me move. Well, whatever. We'll reconfigure this as needed as we go. So I think that's the plan, is to build those. So, I mean, part 1 of the plan. Well, actually, I think part 1 of the plan might be to use our 2 workers so we can get a free action when we build one of these things. So, step 1 is we go to the malt house and turn our 5 grain into 5 straw and 5 malt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, also, these guys came back. Then, this guy is going to get us 6 grain, I believe, by using the Joker piece. Nope, goes there. So we can make a bunch more beer. Because who doesn't love beer, you know? All right, 6 grain. This slides here. We get our guys back. Malt house, yeah, okay. don't think I paid for this. Did I pay for that? No, maybe I did. I think maybe I did, actually. Because I had a 1 here. I don't know. I think I did. I don't know. I think I did. All right, so we're going to build the sacred site. Ooh, hold on. Well, we're going to build the sacred site for 1 stone. Put our guy into it, which gets us a book, which is worth 2 points. It also gets us 2 grain or 2 malt. We're going to get 2 grain. Excuse me. Also gets us 1 beer or 1 whiskey. We're going to take the beer? Question mark. Then we're going to send this guy to the brewery to turn these 6 and 6 grain and barley malt. I don't know why I can't remember that. Into 6 beers. So many beers. And then we're going to sell one of these beers for $7. A lot of money. A lot of money rolling in. Okay, this comes here. So also in the solo game, if this wheel ever hits one of these things, it's removed from the game permanently. So we probably want to go ahead and cut peat. So we'll just do that. Or alternately, we could wait and do it next turn and get 10 peat, which is more. And I mean, more is probably better than less. So maybe we just wait another turn. 2 wood and 2 clay, huh? We're going to spend 2 wood and 2 clay to build this slaughterhouse up here on the beach, far away from everything else. And then we're going to send our last guy into the slaughterhouse to slaughter all of this livestock. So it costs us 7 livestock and 7 straw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To turn 14 food into whatever, 35 food. Seems like a lot of food. Again, numbers being higher than lower seems good. The numbers go up, you know. So we built the slaughterhouse, then we sent our guy into the slaughterhouse. So this comes here. One of our actions has to be to cut peat. So we're going to cut peat. Oh, also we get our guys back. And we get 10 peat. So much peat. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One thing that I really like about this game solo is even if at the end you don't come anywhere near scoring 500 points, you sure feel like you're doing a lot. Like you're getting huge stacks of stuff. You're changing it all into all kinds of crazy stuff. Like it just feels good to do, even if you end up scoring poorly, you know. So that's our first action. What's our second action? Do we want to build any more of these buildings, I guess is the first question. Do we care about any of these cloister buildings? Is a very good question. Spend $1, just get one of everything. One of everything seems fine. But we need 3 clay. We need 3 clay to build one of everything, and we don't have it. So I'm not worried about that one. Can build this scriptorium. So let's just spend $1 to buy a book, a meat, and a whiskey. Which seems fine. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to first off buy one of these for $6. And place it right here. 1, 5. Then for my second action, the first action was to cut peat, because we had to. Or else we wouldn't be able to get peat ever again. Second action is going to be to build this scriptorium right here. It's not going to be to build a scriptorium. So maybe we don't buy that yet, because we don't have a wood. So we're short on all the things we need to build any of these things. So let me get my money back. I mean, I could just get wood. But we're missing out on... I mean, there's no way to build these things currently, because we're out of wood. I mean, I could just get 8 wood. Which is certainly a non-trivial amount of wood. There. Yeah. But I could just get 9 wood next turn, right? So, like, what's the thing that I want to do right now? I could get... What could I get? What's a good thing to get right now? I actually wouldn't mind getting some stone right now. So maybe I'll go there. That lets me trade in 10 energy or 10 food and 5 energy. So that's 15. 10 food, 5 energy, and get 5 stone. Because I'm gonna need stone shortly, so I might as well get it. Alright, so that's our second action. So the wheel rotates, and we have another settlement phase. I think we're going to build this market town right here for 7 food. Which is 5, 6, 7, I think. Because you don't get change, which is annoying. So 5, 6, 7. The market town currently has scored me 4, 9, 13, 20 points. If I put something else there, you know, feels pretty good. Alright, so now this guy builds all of this stuff. That. That, and that, I think. This guy's going to come in here. We're going to pay $1 for the privilege. And that's going to let us turn... We could turn 1 stone into 1 ornament for the low cost of 1 energy. Which, I mean, we'll do. Why not? It's 4 points. We can also turn 1 clay into 1 ceramic for 1 energy. We're going to overpay on the energy, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's 7 points. Why not? Score points while you can, right? A&M Games. How are you doing, man? Welcome in. What's the good word? Yeah, we're playing Aura at Labora here. Big old Uwe Rosenberg game. Oh, he also builds the Druid's house here. And we get some new buildings. These are the incorrect sides of the buildings. There we go. And we get our new hamlet settlement. All right. A&M Games, you ever played Aura at Labora before? Yeah, this is the solo version, which is basically do all the things. You're trying to score 500 points in the solo game, which, you know, we'll see. I'm not confident that we will do that, but maybe we will. So we've got the whiskey distillery out now, which as soon as someone builds this, the work contract price goes up to 2 instead of 1. But it also lets you distill whiskey, which, you know, seems good. Oh, those are cut off. Let me scoot them down a little bit. Okay, we're going to need to cut wood also. I mean, first off, because we need wood to build any of the things. So I think first off, we're going to get... So we need clay and straw to build this whiskey distillery, which we definitely want to do. Well, this shipyard is 15 points also. 15 points is a lot of points. It's -2 settlement points, so we don't want to build that next to a settlement. I could build it right there, because we're probably not going to put another settlement right there. So we need a bunch of clay to build that. So I think this round we just get wood and clay. Actually, we'll get wood next round. Wouldn't mind getting clay next round also, because it's just going to be 1 more of each when we do that. Okay, so what we're going to do first is fell this forest and get 9 wood. Yeah, hold on. Let me count out my wood here. There's a lot of things to lose track of. So there's a lot of weird stuff in this game, A&M. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The main way that you score points, right, is is building up your cloister board here, right? So each building that you build is worth the number in the shield is worth the number of victory points at the end of the game, and then the little house number is the settlement value. So if you build a settlement next to something, then that makes it score its settlement points. So like this market town is going to score the red settlement values in the 4 orthogonally adjacent houses or buildings around it. So you're trying to build everything up with an eye towards that end game scoring, which is a real crazy like spatial puzzle, because you're also trying to, all of these things also give you like ways to convert. There's a ton of different resources, so you get the resources, convert them into other resources, build the buildings you need to convert those resources into points or other resources. There's a whole Plano box full of different types of resource bits here. It's basically if you've ever played Le Havre, oh wait, only Agricola, Caverna, and Patchwork. Yeah, I mean those are great games. Also, I really like Agricola a lot. This is basically like Le Havre taken to the next level. It's like two games of Le Havre piled on top of each other. It's a real crazy puzzle, which is it's really fun, I think. But you gotta be in a certain headspace to get into it, basically, because there's a lot of stuff going on. All right, so we filled that for it. We felled that forest for our first action. For our second action, we're going to build this alehouse right here, which costs 1 wood and 1 stone. We have our prior free, so we're going to put him in there immediately. And he lets us sell 1 whiskey for $7 and 1 beer for $8. So we get $15 total. For that particular action, seems like a good amount of bucks. And we're swimming in money. So that's 2 actions. So the wheel rotates, and we're on to the next round. And yeah, A&M, the way resources are generated is handled by this wheel. So each round this moves, and the value of all these things goes up. So like I just got wood last round, so it was on 0. And then this ticked up, and now it's worth 2. But, the longer you wait to take something, the more you get when you take it, basically. And we are going to get clay this round, because it's on 9. So we're going to get 9 clay. 6, 7, 8, 9. Seems like a good amount of clay. So that's our first action. Our second action is going to be to build... what are we going to build? We got clay. Oh, we want to build this shipyard. Right, so we're going to pay $6 to expand the landscape out this way. And then we're going to pay 4 clay and 1 stone to build this shipyard right here, because it's worth 15 points. Seems like a good amount of points. So that's our first action. That's our second action, because we got clay with our first action. Right, I remember. So this ticks up. We get our workers back because we used all 3 of them. We're also definitely going to want to expand this out this way in the near future. But we'll worry about that when we get to it. So what else do we want to build here? We want to build this whiskey distillery, definitely. But we need wood and peat. We got a bunch of wood and peat. We need malt. So let's get malt before we build that. So step 1 is we go to the farmyard and get 7 grain. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then this guy comes here. Nope, not there. Here. And turns this 7 grain into 7 malt and 7 straw, which is good because we need straw to build the distillery also. Oh, that's straw. We need 7 malt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 malt. Yeah, all the resources are double-sided chits. So like this is malt on one side, which is worth 1 food, or when you flip it over, it's beer, which is worth 5 food. And usually there's like the basic side, and then some action here will let you upgrade it to the advanced side, which is worth more of whatever thing that it is, basically. So that's 2 actions. So this comes here. We need to take money this round, because if we don't, this money marker goes away forever. So we're going to pay $2 for our first action to put this guy... Ooh, okay. So we accidentally built over the money space over here, which is a shame. Because it means we're not going to get to use this action for free. But, you know, what are you going to do? We'll just build that next round. It'll be fine. So the first thing we're going to do is put this guy here and get $10. Seems like a totally fine amount of bucks. And we've got one more action, which maybe we just build one of these things. So we need that. We've got 5 clay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So we can still build that. We're short on stone, though, so maybe we build the portico? Question mark. Like, I would really like to build this chapel, but we're 1 stone short. So maybe we take an action to get stone. Where can we get stone currently? We can get 1 stone over here for $2. It would be $4, or sorry, $3. All right, so we're going to pay $3. We get $2 back. I don't know if it's really worth it to get stone this way, but we're doing it anyway. This guy comes over here and gets us 2 wood, 2 clay, 2 wood, 2 clay, 1 stone, and 1 straw. It's an expensive way to get stone, but we didn't have a free worker to do it with, so this comes here. We get our workers back. Okay. Which is the main thing we wanted, because now we can first off pay $7 to build this. As a free action. Then, as our first action, we're going to pay 2 clay and 2 straw to build this whiskey distillery, which changes the work contract price to $2. We put our prior into it, and we trade in a whole bunch of stuff for a whole bunch of whiskey, basically. So for each pair of these three, each set of these 3 things, we get 2 whiskey. And we're trading in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to get 14 whiskey, which seems pretty good. So these flip over into 7 whiskey, and then we need 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So much whiskey. Towering piles of whiskey. You can also pay 1 whiskey as the contract price instead of $2 to send one of these guys out to work. So that's our first action. What's our second action? What else do we want to do here? I guess is the question. What else do we want to build here? We want to build something good here. Because basically we want to put a settlement like here and here. Well, definitely here. So we're going to want to build something good here. Whoop. So we're on our second action. So let's look at these things. Oh yeah, we wanted to build this chapel also. So we'll do it. Spend 3 stone and 3 clay to build this chapel right here? Question mark? Is that? Hold on. Settlement right there. Yeah, I think we'll build it right here. Because that's settlement. Yeah, I think that's where we'll build. Nope, can't build it there. It's got to be adjacent to this cloister courtyard. So, actually, maybe we build it right here. Because that can be settlement. No, that's not right. Maybe we just build it right here and don't worry about the settlements on that. Or, well, hold on. We'll think about that in a second. We're definitely going to build it somewhere. Because we can build this over here, right? And we could build it right there. Ooh, and one of these settlements can only go... Yeah, this hillside village can only go on the hillside. So that could go like right there. Let me look. One of these things can only be built in the mountains, and I don't remember what it is. The castle can only be built in the mountains. So we build that right there. Build 2 things next to it. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, okay. Getting into the forward planning aspect here. So we're going to spend $5. Get this thing here and build a chapel right there. Seems fine. So that's our second action. So this slides here. And this is our final turn before the settlement phase. So do we want to build any of these other things? I mean, I wouldn't mind building a quarry, honestly. Build a quarry right there. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to spend $5 and build this quarry right here. And then that doesn't leave, well, I think we're just not worried about activating a thing on this board, this settlement phase, because there's nothing left here that we're going to be able to do. We don't have a reliquary to spend on that. Although we could get a reliquary. Actually, now that I look at it, we could get 3 reliquaries, which would be 24 points. Seems like a totally fine amount of points. So maybe we just go ahead and do that. Spend 3 whiskey and 3 beer and $1. Whoa. Get $4 in change. that gets us 3 reliquaries. Where are those? Which are worth 8 points each. And 1 ceramics, which is worth 3 points. Seems like a pretty good thing to spend a bunch of stuff on. Bunch of points is what it is. So that's one action. Second action. What's our second action? I think our second action is to go here and get 8 stone. Just so we have it. Like, we're going to need a bunch of stone. Whoa. We're going to need a bunch of stone to build, like, endgame stuff pretty soon here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 stone. All right. So this comes here. We get our workers back. And we're going to do the settlement phase in 1 second. If y'all give me just a minute, I'm going to run grab a drink, and I will be right back, you guys. All right. Crisp, refreshing seltzer water in hand. We're back in action. And we're doing a settlement phase. So, which settlement do we want to build? I think we want to build this hamlet for 5 food and 6 energy. Let me see. 5 food, 6 energy. Then we get a village, 15 food, and 9 energy. These 2 buildings get built over here somewhere, and we get a bunch of new stuff. So the manor is worth 18 points, costs 20 bucks to build, and as a 7-point, what's it called? Settlement. The castle is, I think, the only thing that can be built in the mountains, so we're going to want to build that up here. Lets you build one of your settlements when you activate it, which is also really good. So those are the 2 things that we're really sort of aiming for here. We also would like to build probably this filial church there to maximize the settlement value from the... oh, hold on. No. Am I misremembering this? We did this wrong. We did a wrong thing. This quarry here is not where we wanted this quarry to be, because I misremembered where this hilltop village goes. Because we really want the hilltop village to be right here, with the castle right here. But then this quarry is a -4 points if we do all that. So we misremembered some things. It's going to cost us some points, but you know, what are you going to do? Easy come, easy go with points. So, let me see what we're trying to do here. Oh yeah, I need to build these things here. I think the portico will cover up this, and the locutory will cover up that. His whatchamacallit isn't free, so I can't activate his. What am I trying to say? His prior is not free, so we can't activate one of those newly built buildings. So let me see if we can salvage this, having correctly remembered the rules of the game. Hilltop Village, huh? Castle, hilltop. So, like, we could build another one of these up here. Build the hilltop village right there. And then build, like, the castle right there. Something else right there. So, like, that's probably what we're actually going to do. Assuming we can afford... If we can afford to do all of that, that's probably what we're going to do. So, costs us an extra $5 for having to buy another one of those. But, you know, c'est la vie. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is definitely take sheep, so the sheep don't go away. Gets us 10 sheep. A totally fine amount of sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. sure these are all sheep and not meat. I hate it when you go to get sheep and you get meat by accident instead, you know? All right. So that's action 1. What's action 2? Right, so build a settlement. So where do we want to build another settlement, I guess is the question. Right here, probably. So we need to build something worth points here. What's worth good settlement points right now? Most of this stuff isn't really worth a ton of settlement points, honestly. The cooperage, or rather, the things that are the well, like the Grand Manor is, right? We could build that here. 20 bucks. So we need $10 more to do that thing. So how do we get a bunch of money? We had a way to get a bunch of money. So we'll do it. We get a bunch of money. We sell a beer and a whiskey. Beer and whiskey. And get 15 bucks. And that lets us build the Grand Manor. We also would like to build this castle. So we're going to need wood for that. We've got 3 wood. We need 6 wood. So for our second action, we're going to cut peat. Sorry. Not peat. This thing. What am I trying to say? Fella forest. That's what I'm trying to say. And get 6 wood. That's our 2 actions. This rotates. Oops, sorry. We meant to cut that one. Build one of your own settlements. Okay, so 5 stone, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 wood builds this castle. Build it right there, and put our guy into it. Which lets us build one of our settlements. So for 9 energy and 15 food, we're going to build this village right here. So now we're running out of energy, right? So we're definitely going to need a bunch of energy. So that was 1 action. Our second action. We're going to spend $6. We're going to slide a variety of things up so that we can continue expanding. Hopefully this is all still on camera. Yeah, your board starts to sprawl in the solo game. You don't build... So I've only ever played this solo since I got it you know, after the world ended. My understanding is you do not build anywhere near this much stuff in the non-solo game. So, is that on camera? Is that on camera is the question. It is. Haha. Alright, so we spend $6 and buy this. We've got one more action. That gets us a peat bog and 2 more forests. Okay. So we want to cut this peat for sure. But it's not pressing, right? So is there something else we'd rather do in the meantime? So we got $20. Leaves us $3, which is not a lot of bucks. We can, what can we do? What can we do? Do we want to build any of this stuff? So we need more money, first off. A non-trivial amount more money. So we're going to have to go back to the ale house next round to get a bunch more money. It's the easiest way we've got to to get money. So something there and there and then there. Sorry, I'm trying to plan out my settlements here. So we got one more action. What are we doing with it? We don't have any more workers. We can send this guy somewhere over here. Are any of these things relevant to our interests? Spend a reliquary to get 2 of everything. Spend 8 points to get a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Spend 2 points to get 5 of something and 3 of something else. I mean, that doesn't seem bad. Take back your prior. Yeah, okay. So, take back your prior, carry out one build a building action. Wouldn't mind building this refectory also. Which I could build. Yeah, I really boned this whole situation up here. So let me try to figure out what I'm doing over here before we continue our plans, basically. I think we might just have to call it a wash on the chapel, which is a real shame. Put this up here. Hillside Village goes here. What goes here? Cooperage, maybe? 1 and 2. I don't know. I think maybe we just build... no. Yeah. I'm very sad about building this quarry here. Also, I just noticed that this is not actually a legal place to build the quarry. It has to go in the mountain. Which I had this mountain here when I did it. So, to make this legal, that's going to go over there. Which also solves some other problems that I had caused for myself. But that's the only legal place to build this quarry. And I just literally just noticed it. So, we're going to do that. Which frees up some other stuff for us, which is nice. Because we can build a refectory there, maybe. Something there. Mountainside village there. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to build this refectory here for 1 wood and 2 clay. I got lost in the weeds on that one. Okay, so that's the second action. This comes back here. We get our guys back. Woof. This guy comes to the ale house. Well, hold on. He doesn't come to the ale house. We'll revisit the ale house in a minute. What he's going to do first, definitely. Ooh, actually. Okay. Use any occupied building. Okay. Goes there. 2. Yeah, okay. Pay a whiskey, use any occupied building. That. What are we doing? So at this stage of the game, there's so many things here that it gets very easy to get lost in the sauce, you know? So I'm just sort of grinding through some opportunities here. Hilltop Village takes 30 food. Boy, that's a lot of food. One, two. So we've got 4 actions before our next settlement phase. The next settlement phase, we're going to build this farming village here. And the final one, we're going to build our mountain thing here. So we're going to need like 35. We're going to need like 40 food total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 30, 40. So I think we... All right, so the first thing we're going to do... we're going to need energy also. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is cut peat. Which gets us 8 peat. So much peat. Then peat comes down here. Five different goods. Yeah. Okay. Then we're going to, where was it? Where's the thing that lets me kill animals? Slaughterhouse. Boink, we're going to come up here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to turn 6 sheep into 6 food. So that's both of our actions. So this comes here. This is our final action before this, or our final turn before the settlement phase. So what up here do we want to build before the settlement phase? So we definitely need to build the filial, or the grand manor rather. So 20 bucks. Build that right there. Right there is what I meant. And we can put our guy in here to use to instantly use any occupied building. Do we want to do that, I guess is the question. That'll let us turn this and this into points, which seems fine. Do we want to do that though? Oops. So we're definitely going to turn 1 stone into 1 ornament. I think we're going to keep our clay though. Ooh. Hold on. All right, so maybe we don't put that guy in there. We just build the grand manor. It's fine. The next thing we do, build a coal harbor, question mark. Coal harbor's 12 points. It's a non-trivial amount of points, so maybe we do that. Build a coal harbor right here. Yep. And when we built that grand manor, we will have sent that guy there. To activate this. No. All right, hold on. Before we build this coal harbor, let me think through some numbers real quick. Numbers. Who needs them? Because we could send that. We could use this. Spend $2. And that is definitely not going to be more than 12 points. Yeah. Okay. So we build the coal harbor. It's fine. Okay. So that's both of our actions. So this turns, and we have a settlement phase. Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah, it's fine. Okay. The settlement phase, we're going to build this artist's colony right here for 1 energy. And, excuse me, 5 food. Yep. Okay. Then these things get built over here. Cooperage. Forest hut. Okay. We get our hilltop village, and then we get the end game buildings here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns till the end of the game, basically. So the hilltop village costs 30 food and 3 energy. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We've got enough food and energy to build that. And then we can build another settlement also. So hilltop village goes here. We build something here and here, and build... Actually, hilltop village goes here. Something goes there. What goes there? What goes there? So what are the things left here? All right, so this sacristy lets us trade in one of each of these basic goods, or precious goods, to get a I forget what these are called, but they're worth 30 points. So it lets us trade 10. It lets us trade 17 points in for 30 points, which seems pretty good. So activating that seems good. We're going to need 3 stone and 2 straw to build that, none of which we have currently. So maybe the first thing we do... So what do we want to build here, I guess, is the question. Coming into the into sort of the last phase. So hilltop village goes here, definitely. So that's 1, 2. So we definitely have room for like 2 good buildings. So which 2 do we want to build? We definitely want to build this sacristy, but it can't go... Ooh, we can go there. Okay. Well, we've got to build another one of these to build the sacristy, basically. Which is fine. So we need 2 other things, basically. One of them... Ooh. One of them is probably this round tower. Which lets us get... lets us trade $5 and a whiskey and 14 points worth of stuff. 10, 14 to get a relic. So that one seems good. So we need 7 stone, 2 straw. 9 stone, 2 straw, and 2 wood. So how do we get 9 stone? That gets us 6. And then we can buy the rest there. So, I think the first action we do is just get 6 stone, I guess. So this goes here. We get 6 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stones. We're going to need more money also. Which we'll have to worry about next round after we get our workers back. So, what's one more action to do? We're going to need straw and wood. So, I think we're going to pay a whiskey. We're going to pay a whiskey to put this guy over here. And get 7 grain. Is that right? 7 grain. I think that's what we have to do. So we're going to do it. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Because we can turn this. So you can turn grain into straw as a free action. You can't turn straw back into grain. So that gets us the 2 straw we need. And also possibly we can do something else with that grain. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's our 2 actions. So this rotates. We get our workers back. They get their workers back. We need a bunch of money. So we go to the ale house. We sell these things for 15 bucks. For our first action, for our second action, excuse me. Our second action is going to be building the round tower, I guess, for 4. Actually, our second action is going to be, first off, we do that for 5 bucks. And then we build this sacristy here for 3 stone and 2 straw. And then we put our guy into it. And that lets us trade in a book, a ceramic, an ornament, and a reliquary for 1 relic. All right, so this rotates. And we need to cut wood to get rid of this. So how many actions do we have left? 2, 4, 6, 8 actions. So build, build, cut, build. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we've got 4 free actions, basically, to try to just score points doing stuff. So let's do the 4 that we know we need. First one is to cut this. We don't need the wood, but we need to build something there. That gets us 6 wood. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. First action. Second action is build one of our settlements. It's going to be this hilltop village right here. Excuse me. Yes. Yeah, hilltop village there for 3 energy and 30 food. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that's 2 actions. We get our guys back. This rotates. If we don't get clay right now, we can't get clay for the rest of the game. The question is, do we care? Do we care about clay? Do we care about clay? I don't know that we do care about clay. All right, so we're going to build this round tower. Here. For 4 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put our guy into it. We're going to spend $5, 1 whiskey, and 14 points worth of something. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to get another relic. Okay. That's one action. Second action is build one of our settlements. We'll spend 3 food and 3 energy. To build this farming village right here. And now so we get to build another settlement here. So that's our last settlement, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actions. We want to build something here, here, and here, if we can. The question is, what can we build? We've got 1 spare action. What can we build with what we've got? And 1 action. We can definitely build the guest house. Can we build the estate? So that pays for the shantytown. So we can build the guest house. We can build the can we build the estate? Clay. So the festival grounds cost $10. So if we clear that and get money, we can build those. Okay, so right. I'm gonna clear this. Actually, hold on. Do we need clay? Before we make any rash decisions, do we need clay? Because I want to build the festival ground right here, because that's 14 points from those, which feels pretty good. So I need to clear that and get money. I can get $8 just by doing it right now. Okay, so I'm going to get $8 as my second action. And say, forget clay, who needs clay? Certainly not me. I'll never need it. All right, so $8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this rotates. Oh, also this comes here. That rotates. Bye-bye clay. Who needs it? Certainly not me. We get our guys back. And I'm going to clear this wood for 1 action, which gets us 3 wood. Second action is Trade in 6 energy. Yeah, okay. Second action is to build this guest house here for 3 wood and 1 straw. Put our prior into it, which says use any unbuilt building. We're going to choose to use this estate, which lets us trade 12 energy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. For 2 books and 2 ornaments. 2 books, 2 ornaments. So we traded a bunch of energy in for 2, 4, 12 points, which seems good. So we cleared, we built that. This rotates. Oh, this comes here. This rotates. Now, we're going to build this festival ground right here for 10 bucks. Five, 10, 16, 5, 10, 17. Aha. Okay. So that's one action. Second action, I think might be to get stone so we can build this estate. Yeah, we're going to get stone. Specifically, we're going to get 6 stone. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's our 2 actions. This rotates here, and it's the final turn. Which, let me grab the rule book and make sure we do this right. Where's the applicable rule book? Yes, okay. Solo game. Rotate the production wheel, take our 2 actions, and then do the settlement phase. In the final round, we get to do our 2 actions before we do the settlement stuff. Okay, so first action is to build this estate for 2 and 2. Build it up here. Right, there's nowhere better to build that. Yep, okay. 2 stone, 2 wood. Second action, take this guy and activate the round tower. Spend 5 bucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 whiskey and 14 points worth of stuff. 8, 9, 10, 14 to get a relic. And that's all the actions. Per spend. All right, so now this guy builds all these things. 1, 2, 3. And his prior is free. So do any of these things get us points? Spend a book and a ceramic. We don't have a book and a ceramic. So none of those things get us points. So that's that. We spend 1 and 1 to build our final settlement here. And that's the game. So now, hey, Jess CCG, welcome in. Welcome. Thanks for the raid. Thanks a lot. How's it going? You are literally just in time for the final scoring of Aura et Labora. We just finished the final round. What were you guys up to tonight? Ba-boom. Big raid energy coming in. Yeah, welcome in, you guys. My name's Alpook. I play board games every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you like that kind of thing, you're more than welcome. Have some chill board game hangs, you know. We're just finishing up Aura et Labora. Literally just took the final action. About to count up our score. I feel like I did pretty well, but I have no idea. Jess, what were you doing tonight? What you been up to, man? Thanks so much for the raid. Let me find the score pad here. And find a pencil. Where's a pencil? Pencil. Yeah, Jess, this is Aura et Labora by Uwe Rosenberg. It's, have you ever played Le Havre by any chance? Because this is kind of like Le Havre 2.0, or it's basically like 3 games of Le Havre piled on top of each other at the same time. It's a totally crazy resource conversion thing. All of these cards, so there's all of these different types of resources, and the whole game is getting these resources, efficiently converting them into other resources, and eventually spitting out points at the end. It's a totally insane pile of business. I think it's really neat solo. I've only ever played it solo because I got it in a trade like after the world ended, you know. So haven't had a chance to play it multiplayer. The solo game's really fun though. But yeah, if you like that kind of thing, this is it's really, I mean, I'm sure you can see from the amount of nonsense going on here. There's a lot of really fun stuff going on. It's got a really cool like spatial puzzle aspect to it, because each of these settlement cards scores points for the things directly adjacent to it orthogonally. So you're trying to plan everything out, get the buildings you need, get the resources you need to feed into the buildings, build all your stuff efficiently for scoring purposes, all that kind of stuff. It's really neat. All right, so we're going to do final scoring here. And we're going to see how we did. First off, we're going to score points for goods. So we've got 3 relics. That's 90 points. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 99 points for goods. Now we're going to do points on buildings, which is the number in the shield. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 19, 24, 30, 34, 39, 49, 52, 61, 62, 63, 68, 78, 83, 86, 89, 104, minus 1 is 103, 107, 117, 124, 128, 138, 148 plus 8, 156, 164, 170, 182, 189, 192, 193, 199 points for buildings. High score in the solo game. The goal of the solo game is to score 500 points. So we'll see how we do. Now we're going to score settlements, which score the red numbers on themselves and the 4 buildings orthogonally adjacent. So this one gets us 6, 12, 18, 22, 27. This one gets us 4, 9, 10, 11, 18, 24. This one gets us 7, 11, 18, 18 plus 6, 24, 29. This one gets us 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 19, 26. This one gets us 8, 12, 19, 24, plus 9, 33. This one gets us 14, 20, 25, 32. This one gets us -3, so 3, 8, 13. And this one gets us 1, so that's 10, 24. So many numbers. Now, we're going to add all this up and see how we came out. Again, the goal is 500 points. And again, it felt like I was doing well, but whether that translates into us actually doing well is another question altogether. $176 points for settlements. So 176 plus 199 plus 99 equals 474 is our final score. So that's the second time I've played this solo. First time I got 489, this time I got 474. I feel like that's pretty good for playing on stream. Trying to keep things rolling, you know. So yeah, that is Aura at Labora. Super cool game. Really like it a lot. I'm very curious to play it multiplayer. Because there's a whole like crazy blocking aspect for multiplayer, because you have your own board with all this stuff on it, right? But other people can pay you money to put your workers on your own buildings, and then they get the benefit of it. So you get a little bit of money out of it, but like if you really needed this stone and they take the stone instead, you know, it's got a whole nasty interactive element to it that seems like it would be very interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure where I could have eked out 26 more points. I feel like maybe if I had gotten one more of these relics, maybe. Doing a little bit more efficient stuff at the end to maybe get some more of these point scoring precious goods. I don't know. But on the whole, I mean, I'm totally happy with 474. Just generally, I mean, that's pretty close to 500. It's obviously not 500, but you know, not too bad. Yeah, so yeah, at the end of all that, we got 474. So if y'all give me a minute, I think I'm going to clean this up and play something else. I don't know. What are you guys in the mood for? I could play some Calico. Been wanting to play that solo again. Or something else. I don't know. What do you guys feel like watching? A puzzly solo game, or like a card game or something? I don't know. Anybody got strong feelings about it? And yeah, again, anybody sticking around from the raid, thanks so much for coming through. I play Marvel Champions every Monday, and then basically whatever else the other days. I've got the new Bloodborne game I think I'm going to play again on Friday. Got totally stomped by it the last time through. So I've been wanting a rematch on that. But if you like this kind of thing, I do it 3 times a week. But yeah, if y'all give me just a minute here, sweep all this onto the floor, and I'll grab Calico out, and we'll see if we can't please some kittens. What do you say? But I will be right back, you guys.